God, look, we've got enough material here to write like an entire saga.
Based on world landmarks.
World wonders. Yeah, like the Colossus of Rhodes, like Night at the Museum. Colossus like comes to life.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Playing Favourites, the podcast in which me and my good friend Harry discuss our favourites in a variety of topics. My favourite colour is orange, my favourite animal is a snake, and my favourite co-host
is visiting the Time Pyramid. It's in Wemding, Germany. It's like an art piece, kind of monument-looking thing, which started construction in, I have it somewhere here, 1993, which is like this kind of, I don't know what you call it, because it is kind of an art display kind of thing. In fact, it's described as a work of public art on its Wikipedia page.
The unfortunate truth of the Time Pyramid, of course, is that he went to visit there 30 years ago, and has been permanently trapped within.
In a time loop. Yeah.
Just an awful...
I mean, it's got such a cool name, like the Time Pyramid.
I'm looking at it now. It doesn't look cool.
Not yet, it doesn't. But that's the thing, Luke, with the Time Pyramid, is that it started in 1993, and it's basically a collection of blocks, of sort of cuboid blocks, stacked up in the shape of a pyramid. So there's like a flat base, and on top of that, there's another tier of blocks, and on top of that, there's another tier of blocks. And there's 4 tiers, or at least there will be when its construction is finished in the year 3183. When all the blocks have been placed. And so basically every 10 years, there's been 3 blocks placed so far, obviously. So there's 1993, 2003, 2013. Only in 2 more years do we get another block on the Time Pyramid. So that's pretty cool. Looking forward to that. Maybe we'll do like a bonus episode. Or we'll come back, talk about the Time Pyramid.
Even when it's finished, it's just going to be a bunch of bricks.
But I still think it's a pretty cool design. It's kind of like... big pyramid shape, lots of bricks, so you could walk between it. Like imagine standing,
God, they're making one block every 10 years.
Yeah, imagine standing in the middle of the Time Pyramid when it's completed, with like, because there's like sort of gaps between the blocks. You can walk between them.
If you stand in the Time Pyramid when it's completed, you go back to when it was created.
Oh my god, that would be. Someone write this. Oh my goodness. Can we stop the podcast?
The year is 3183. I, Zarbfark the Inevitable, have visited Wemding, Germany.
His name's Manfred Laber.
Oh, okay. That's an even better idea. The person who originally designed the Time Pyramid.
Exactly, he knows.
It's from the future in which the Time Pyramid has already been created.
Oh my god, and they're making like a bridge through time.
We're talking about our favourite landmarks this episode.
Oh, yeah. Instead, we've written sci-fi. We've written novice sci-fi. Look, I'm totally gonna write this at the end of the episode. All right, well, yeah. Hey, so hello everyone. We're here to talk about our favourite what's the cultural landmarks? I believe is what we settled on.
Yeah, we went with cultural landmarks, and we're specifying they must be constructed. They're man-made.
There was a big back and forth between me and Luke that lasted 10 minminutes or so.
This episode has had the most discussion on the actual choice of name compared to like every other episode.
Because when we were talking about this, I think it was I was the one who suggested this episode. I'm thinking stuff like, I mean, your classic, sort of wonders of the world, kind of Eiffel Tower, pyramids, those kind of wonders of the world, but we want to expand it out past that. Landmarks, things, tourist destinations, and these were all things that we considered when coming up with the title of the episode. Places that you'd go to visit that are of cultural significance, and buildings that are built by men. Not like landmarks like Niagara Falls, but like ones that have been built. And there was a great process of trying to come up with
what we would call that.
What we would call it. I at one point suggested attractions, to which Luke responded with, my favourite wonder is the Helter Skelter, which was very funny. There's all kinds of options, and cultural landmark is what we settled on.
You kept trying to go for buildings, which like...
Yeah, there's a building, like great buildings.
No, because then, what about a big statue? That's not a building. It's been built.
Construction.
It's not a building, it's a built.
It's a builded. But yeah, so yeah, we've settled on cultural landmarks. To which, I don't know. I mean, I was kind of stuck. I feel like for a lot of people this might be difficult, but thankfully both you and I have played the Civilization games, which feature quite prominently the world wonders which you can build to benefit your civilization with science and production and gold and things like that.
Which is not what wonders do in real life.
Gold, it could be argued.
Science.
You could argue that, the Stonehenge teaches us about
time.
Aliens.
Much like the time pyramid.
No, Luke, we can't get back to the time pyramid. But you could be like, I'm looking at some of these ancient ones. The Great Lighthouse. Like that's like a cultural landmark that did something. It was a big lighthouse.
That's true.
It's a wonder of the ancient world there. But are we including ones that have since been demolished or destroyed? I assume so, right? Like
we could include them, but if anyone chooses them as their favorite, they should be exiled.
I don't know, because some of these they're kind of cool. Almost feel like mythical. The Colossus, this huge like statue, it feels very mythical.
They're really cool. Like the Colossus of Rhodes is a really cool statue.
Yeah,
but also it's not. You can't go see it.
True. Oh, can't you go see its feet? Don't its feet still exist or something?
I don't know if that's like actually true.
Since 2008, a series of as-yet unrealised proposals to build a new Colossus at Rhodes Harbour have been announced. Although the actual location of the original monument...
How tall was it supposed to be? It was only 33 metres tall, to be fair.
No, I guess so.
Which is...
That's like under half a football pitch.
I guess it's tall for, like, the ancient world. God, how many people do you think died building it?
Oh, probably a billion. I mean, you kind of have that as a running theme.
The population of mankind.
Yeah, well, it's like something out of like Warhammer or something, like sacrifices to the Emperor. It's like, we're building the Colossus of Rhodes. I mean, to be honest, it's kind of a theme with your old ancient wonders. Like, was it the Great Wall of China? Like, it took so many men and so much material and stuff like that. Like, if someone died, like they just throw them on. Like, they just put them in the wall.
They're in the wall
and
now.
Just carry on building. Yeah.
One with part of the wall, part of the ship.
Exactly, and then you go and like at night or something, you can like, hear them whispering to you. God, look, we've got enough material here to write like an entire saga.
Based on like, world landmarks,
world wonders. Yeah, like the Colossus of Rhodes, like Night at the Museum. The Colossus like comes to life. Like the pyramid. I mean, pyramids have already got like
they've got some mythos,
lore. Yeah, I mean, aliens built them.
Also, the only ancient wonder still standing, so they've got that going for it. Well, specifically the Great Pyramid of Giza, I guess. Here's a good question.
Come on.
How many of these landmarks have you seen in real life?
Oh, gotta be zero, right? I mean...
No, not the ancient ones. Not even the world wonders. Just like how many like...
Oh, okay, yeah. I've been...
How many do you think you can name?
I've been to London.
Yeah, London's got a lot. London Eye.
Nelson's Column.
Nelson's Column, yeah. Big Ben. Well, not Big Ben.
What do you mean not Big Ben? Hang on, not Big Ben.
Big Ben's the bell.
Aha! I've got you. Okay, if we were on QI, we go. Yeah, it's not even the bell. That doesn't even have a name.
Man.
It's called the Great Bell. It's Big Ben who built it. Similarly, like the Great Wall of China, how like if someone died, they just throw him into the wall.
Big Ben.
Poor old Ben. Yeah,
he's the scaffolding.
Yeah, build it around him. Why not? I've got the scaffolding in place. Yeah. No, but even the bell is just called the Great Bell.
So what's the tower called?
The Elizabeth Tower.
So what's Big Ben?
Just a nickname. It's kind of like a Union Jack kind of situation.
Well, that means it's still a name.
It's still called Big Ben, but that is the sort of common nickname. And then it was built to be we're going to build the Elizabeth Tower and we're going to put a big bell in it and call it the Great Bell. But even then, it's just a nickname.
It's a great bell, to be fair. Have you ever heard it ring?
I think I have. Currently, it's not ringing, right?
Yeah, that's not an operation.
Poor old Ben. Tired.
Poor Ben. He's had to take a break.
I don't know what the continuity here is, because I'm pretty sure Big Ben's dead, as we've just established.
No, he's a skeleton. Inside. They put him in the walls. You can hear him rattling, playing checkers.
Unbelievable. He dances around the walls, and then a little bony hand reaches out and rings the bell.
For Big Ben, it's a tiny bell.
a comically small bell. They ring out. That'd be hilarious. Yeah, I think right now it's undergoing renovation, which is supposed to take like 4 years or something.
Jesus wept.
Which is unbelievable.
Yeah, don't you think we'd have it figured out by now?
Yeah, like
how old is Big Ben? When's his birthday?
Big Ben was completed in 1859.
Jesus.
On the 31st of May, so about a month ago, we would have had his birthday. 161, 161st.
Sorry, Ben.
The big 161. Devastating. In fact, just to compare, going back to the Colossus of Rhodes, Big Ben is 96 meters tall.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty big.
Like 3 Colossi.
Buckingham Palace, that's another one.
Buckingham Palace, yeah, that's true. That's another. I think I've seen that one. I think that's all of them in. I mean, I guess it's not. I was gonna say like River Thames, like, the question still stands, even though that isn't a cultural landmark as we've described it. But like things that just are well known, would you describe them as a cultural landmark?
Yeah, I guess so. If it's well known, like that's kind of what makes it a landmark, right? A landmark definitionally is something that is so sort of unique in its perception that it marks the land. Like, I can point at it and go, I know where I am because that is there.
Yeah, no, that's true. Then. Well, in that case, would that mean something like the Time Pyramid? It's not really well known. Just to use it as an example.
I mean, it's still a landmark. It doesn't have to be well known, I don't think.
So it's not what makes a landmark doesn't definitionally have to be well known, but often landmarks are well known.
It just has to be unique. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair then. Well, then the question of uniqueness.
My house.
Now, it's a very unique house.
There's only one my house.
I don't know. I'd love to. I feel like if I had more knowledge, or if we had someone who knew what they were doing, they could probably be like, "Oh, well, what about these 2 very similar statues?" You know.
This is true. A lot of landmarks are very big statues of like Buddha.
Yeah.
And to be fair, a lot of UK landmarks are big clock towers.
True.
Or cathedrals. Or
cathedral. Yeah, I guess like a lot of it can be down to the name. Like there are many cathedrals, but there's only one.
Go on.
Wait, is the Sistine Chapel a cathedral?
It's a chapel, Harry.
Luke, what's a cathedral?
I mean, they're essentially the same thing, I think.
Yeah, I thought so. Like,
I think
there's a big church.
They probably have technically different.
Okay. Well, I know that there's cathedrals in. I know Worcester's got one.
Yeah, we've got a lot.
I think
near
Gloucester.
us.
Yeah. I think Chester.
Yeah.
Chestershire.
There's pretty much one in every city.
Yeah. Is there one in Nottingham?
There is.
Really? That's where we're based.
Yeah.
That's where Playing Favourites HQ is. In the cathedral. There is a Wikipedia page for Nottingham Cathedral, which is in the city of Nottingham. It is kind of boring. I'm looking at it. Quite nice on the inside. Very white and the sort of cream.
A lot of cathedrals look very similar.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look that impressive on the outside.
The thing about... Here's an interesting fact about cathedrals that I learned at university.
Only on Playing Favourites, everyone.
Yeah, interesting fact. A lot of cathedrals actually have multiple different eras of architecture built within them because they took so fucking long to build.
Oh my god.
That they would get like halfway through and be like, we don't do those anymore. We don't do these like weird pointy art.
Exactly.
We gotta do a more curved.
That's incredible. I didn't know.
I wish I knew more about architecture because I used to. This was a thing we studied where we would literally be like, because literally you look at an archway in like the window.
Yeah.
And if you look, like some of them are straight points. Like a literally triangle, and that's usually indicative of one era. The more curved sort of point is indicative of another. If it's straight, just a curve, it's a different one. Okay. There's a lot you can tell from a building if you know what to look for.
Well, I think that's the case for any kind of... I mean, for a lot of the landmarks that we've talked about and we'll talk about, and also just kind of adorned, but, sort of important. But, like, I went to the church when it was Easter, I think. Me and my sister did a, like, treasure hunt in the local church.
Yeah.
And you sort of get a bunch of clues, and it's like, oh, this was added in so-and-so year, and it represents this, and it was added at this time because so-and-so decided they needed more this in the church. And every kind of nook and cranny and the altar and the little little water bowl at the back, and like all the different pews and archways. You know, they're all dedicated to different people. They all have different meanings, and they're rich with history and lore and mythos.
That's the thing. Every building has a story, and that's why. Well, okay, every landmark has a story.
Yeah. Okay.
And most buildings do have a story behind them. And that's what we should try and highlight in this episode by talking about our favourite landmarks. But also, name a landmark that you've seen that's not in the UK.
Yeah,
You're not allowed to say the Eiffel Tower.
I haven't seen the Eiffel Tower.
I have. But I'm not going to say that one.
Why? Well, you just did, but why not?
Because I just said I wasn't allowed to.
Why aren't you allowed to say the Eiffel Tower?
Because I feel like everyone's seen it.
Well, very clear. Your co-host on this podcast hasn't.
Have you been to France?
No. Tell me about it.
It's a big stick in the ground. I don't really like it that much.
What are you
kind of a hot take. I think it's a bit...
Wow.
It's just kind of... I think it's definitely a product of its time, you know? It's like 100% steel.
Yeah.
And it's just tall.
So what don't you like about it?
It's, you know, I'm much more of an ornate man.
Okay.
Like, I'm not massively into the fact that the whole thing is just made of steel.
Is it too modern? Too like...
It might be too modern for me, which is funny because it was made in like
1889.
Damn, it's pretty.
It only took 2 years to build, which
that's mad actually.
Yeah, that's much shorter than I would have guessed. I don't know. I mean, the Eiffel Tower, it's iconic. I quite like the modernness of it. I think it's unique in that regard. I can't really think of many other modern wonders or modern looking wonders.
What's that other one I saw in France? And the Arc de Triomphe. You know that one?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I've
Yeah,
that is cool. You can drive around it, and it's like.
It's this kind of like big archway. You really got a thing for archways.
I love archways. I will say.
Wow. Okay.
Archways are really weird because that is genuinely like if you see an archway.
Yeah.
There's a lot you can tell from just that archway.
How so? Oh, because of the history and the shape.
It's like to do with the crenellations and the like.
Okay.
Whatever the top part's called. How did I rattle crenellations off the dome?
I mean, I'm impressed. Yeah, well done. But, okay. Well, in that case, my question would be...
It's also not called a crenellation, I'm fairly certain.
Well, that's right. We'll add something in the show notes, or correction, you know. It's 473.
Crenellations are part of castles.
473.
I do like crenellations, to be fair. We haven't even talked about castles.
Well, just before we get onto that, Luke, I do have a quick question.
Go ahead.
You know how during an earthquake you're supposed to stand under a door frame?
Don't stand under the Arc de Triomphe.
So Arc de Triomphe, why not? Because it does kind of, it's big door frame.
Are you supposed to stand under a door frame?
Yeah, because it's like a very reinforced, like,
I think, Harry, why would you not just stand under nothing?
Because then the roof's gonna fall and it can go outside.
What, the sky?
Yeah, like, well... You know, I mean, like, you're inside. There's a really bad earthquake going on that's sprung out of nowhere. You can't get out, or, you know, the door, like, I was going to say the doors collapse. So you don't stand underneath. Like, for whatever reason, the ceiling in the hallways collapse. So you can't get out through the doorway.
But I'm at the Arc de Triomphe.
But also you're at the Arc de Triomphe. Yeah. Like, okay, so you're a builder. You're doing renovations on the Arc de Triomphe.
Okay, yeah.
And there's lots of equipment around that make it very difficult to escape in the event of an earthquake.
Yeah.
You can stand either in the Arc de Triomphe or there's like a common area, you know, where you'd sit and have your sandwiches when you're on break. Should you stand under the Arc de Triomphe?
But there is also a roof above that common area.
So yeah, it's a small gazebo which has been erected.
So
where do you stand?
There's a chance of you being crushed by several tons of rock, or a bit of tarpaulin's gonna fall on top of you.
Well, you need the outside. It's one of those like, important little things, you know, just to have in mind, you know, if the situation ever arises. I would say, looking at the architecture of the Arc de Triomphe,
it would probably be fine in an earthquake.
Yeah, I reckon so. I don't know. I mean, France, I think, in general, has lots of great sort of
statues.
Similar to London. I mean, there's museums, the Musée d'Orsay and the Louvre, and
I have seen the Louvre.
Thank you. Oh, thank God. I took a gamble on Louvre or Louvre.
I believe it is Louvre, but
Louvre. Okay.
you might be right. I know
We'll
it's
check
not.
that on.
I know it's not Louvre. I'm listening to it on Wikipedia now, so I'll get back to you.
All right. Thank you, Luke. We'll all sit.
It is Louvre.
Louvre.
Musée de Louvre.
Oh, that was. There you go. Look, we're gonna have to mark this podcast as bilingual now. Put it in the bilingual
de
category.
Louvre. I've only ever looked at it from the outside, though, which does feel like I'm missing out on kind of the.
Well, yeah. Are museums landmarks?
Yes, I would say so, but it's weird because they're landmarks because of what is contained within them.
What is inside them? Yeah.
Although I don't know, because with the Louvre.
Yeah.
The Louvre, if it had nothing inside of it,
Yeah.
it would still be a very cool building.
Yeah. It's still
It would be a
looks
landmark,
cool.
I feel.
It's sort of it's like the big glass pyramid looking thing with the.
If they told us today that they were taking everything out of the Louvre,
Oh God. Yeah. It would still be, but it's already earned its stay. Whereas looking at the Musée d'Orsay, which it reminds me of King's Cross Station in London. It's got this massive domed, perhaps arched roof, going back to arches.
Oh yeah,
which is
I
very
love
cool. You get a look at its arches again. I'm seeing very few pictures on the outside. I mean, from the outside, it's a pretty cool looking building.
It's very long.
Very long building. I think the whole thing is this long arched roof.
It's got a cool clock in it.
Cool
too.
clock. Yeah, it's a very nice looking clock. So, I don't know. I think museums are an interesting case because, I think you could have a cool museum somewhere in fucking Pembrokeshire. It's a cool looking building, but it's got nothing in it and no one cares. Because it doesn't fulfill its purpose in
no, you're right. Doesn't matter how cool it looks if it's in Pembrokeshire.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry any Pembrokeshians who may be listening.
I feel like we've talked a lot about buildings.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. So you're thinking more statue love?
How many statues do you think you've seen?
Ever. Not just famous ones.
Yeah.
There's the one in Nottingham of Brian Clough, the Nottingham Forest.
I have seen that one too.
Former football manager.
You're right.
There's Nelson's column. Wait, no, does that have a little Nelson on him? On the top?
Yeah,
or is that? But isn't there another column in London that's got a little man on it?
It has there's 1,000 of them in London.
Yeah, but
Nelson's column definitely has Nelson on top.
It's got a little Nelson. Which do you think is taller, the Nelson on top of Nelson's column or the Colossus of Rhodes?
It's probably Nelson's column. I think Nelson's column is actually way taller than.
Oh yeah, the column itself. No, the column itself is 51 meters. So the column itself is taller, but there's a tiny little Nelson on top.
The tiny man on top. Yeah. Which I find an interesting choice. Although, to be fair, if they did make a Colossus of Rhodes that was the size of Nelson...
Oh my God, tiny little... You take it home with you.
No, wait. I meant the other way around.
Oh, right, okay.
A Nelson that was the size of the Colossus of Rhodes.
What if? Tiny column, massive Nelson on top. At least balancing it on one foot.
He's... it's so delicately
placed. Like that. Yeah, so there's Nelson's column, there's the Brian Clough statue, there's... God, I love thinking of all the people listening right now. It's like, what about this famous column that exists? Well,
never seen it.
I can't think of many. What are you thinking? What comes to your mind?
I've got none, but
never seen any cool statues.
I'm trying to think if I've seen what's the most famous statue I've seen.
I have no idea. I mean, there are famous statues. Statue of Liberty.
That's probably the most famous.
Probably.
One. There's 1,000 statues of Buddha. There's so many.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a cultural thing,
and some of them are fucking huge.
Yeah,
I've got the Wikipedia page for list of tallest statues. Have you seen how tall some of these fuckers?
I mean, what's the tallest statue?
The tallest statue.
Wait, let me guess. The tallest statue.
Go ahead.
If Nelson's column's 50 meters, that's like half a football pitch up.
I'm not gonna have you guess who it is because there's no way you're
of Andre the Giant.
Although you might.
Okay.
No,
right.
you won't.
Well, I would probably guess Nelson's column is tall, but it's got to be much taller than that. I'll say 90 meters.
No. I'll let you know you are about halfway there.
Good lord. So what, like...
It's 182 meters
Jesus,
tall.
that is massive.
And it is a real human who existed.
Who was it?
Sardar Patel, who was the first Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister of independent India.
There you go.
And adherent of Mahatma Gandhi during the non-violent Indian independence movement. And he got a big as fuck statue.
Yeah, imagine being that guy. Was it built while he was alive? I mean, if so. Like, that's...
No,
okay.
no, definitely. It was built very recently, actually.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't actually know if it's... Is it done? Oh, yeah. It completed in October 2018.
Ah, okay. Well, there you go.
And
It's fairly recent.
Started also in October 2013.
Yeah, 5
so-
years. It's fairly decent turnover. I mean, they built the Eiffel Tower in 2 years, lads. So I mean, maybe you could have got a bit of a wiggle on there.
Yeah, but
you know,
what? How big is the Eiffel Tower compared to this?
I mean, the Eiffel Tower is 324 meters tall, which and then there's architectural height, there's tip, and then there's the top floor, and the top of the Eiffel Tower is 324 meters.
I kind of forgot the fact that the Eiffel Tower is a building, not a
Yeah,
statue. I kind of forgot buildings can get much
taller.
bigger.
Yeah.
They got less of those damn laws of physics.
Exactly, they're working with anti-grav technology. Yeah, but I mean, with the great little side note for our little science fiction novel there about using anti-grav in like crazy architecture. But yeah, the Big Ben is 96 meters tall. So just to put that statue
is twice the size of Big Ben.
Yeah, like it's unbelievable. Just to put that into context, people.
There is a statue of Buddha.
Yeah.
In the Ushiku prefecture. No. It's in Ushiku, which is a place in Japan. It's a city in Japan.
Okay.
And I've seen footage of this.
Yeah.
Of like people in like the city around it.
Yeah.
And they just like look over and there's Buddha just chilling in the
smiling
distance.
over.
He's huge. God. He's 120 meters tall.
It's very sweet.
It's just fucking mental. There's so many huge statues of Buddha. They're awesome. I love them. I'm so upset we don't have these. Like, I just want a really tall statue in the UK. Is that too much to ask?
Well, Luke, it's funny you should mention that because I've just remembered a very tall statue. Possibly one of the only wonders, and maybe we'll disagree. Maybe people won't understand, but probably one of the only wonders, definitely one of the only statues that I would describe as frightening. Because I'm kind of unsettled by this. And Luke, I don't know if you're familiar with the Angel of the North.
Oh, I know the name.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Find a picture of it. It's somewhere in... It's in Low Eaton.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Which is this massive, like...
It is quite haunting.
There's something about it, because it's not in, like, a city or anything. It's just out in a field. And it's this kind of... It's a humanoid figure with no... I say there's not really any obvious arms, and then these two horizontal wings.
Yeah.
They don't really look like... They more look like plane wings than anything.
Plane wings.
Sort of pointing up. And it's just kind of stood there looking at you in all these pictures.
It is quite haunting. I don't...
Yeah, it's just something about
I don't find it scary.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's not the right word. It's just something about it. I think that
I think it's just because it's really wide.
Yeah, it's wide. It's imposing. It's that instinctual, like, oh, this is big and wide.
It's not even that tall. It's only 20 meters tall.
Yeah. I just think about if you were, like, hiking at night.
And you looked in the distance.
Or maybe, like, you don't even see it and you're walking, like, perpendicular, and then you turn your head. And there's just this huge silhouette, this big, wide silhouette.
Just the shadow.
Good lord, look. Can you imagine in our sci-fi universe if the Angel of the North came to life?
Can fly.
Oh my god. Then you look out your window and it's in your garden. What the fuck? Good lord, that'd be scary.
I don't like it.
It's very off-putting.
Not good.
Yeah.
Just so you know, the 134th tallest statue.
Yeah.
Is the first tallest statue in the UK.
Wow, okay.
So, we're not doing too great.
Why is it? What is it?
It's the Kelpies.
Never even heard of it.
It's a pretty cool statue. I have seen these before. They're named after shape-shifting water spirits.
It's these two big horse heads from what I'm seeing.
Two big horse heads.
They're quite large, look quite cool. Maybe looks like paneling that's sort of been...
Yeah, they look kind of...
fit
I don't know
together.
what they're made of. They look kind of cool. I like them.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Look, we've discussed many more like D-list wonders than I thought. I thought it was all going to be like, Leaning Tower.
Yeah,
Eiffel
I mean,
Tower.
I don't want to. I don't know. I don't think anyone's favorite is like one of those
Yeah.
kind of.
Well,
I do think a lot of it is formed by human experience. Because, like, if you go to a landmark and you feel like you have that moment of, like, real emotional resonance as you're basking in the glory of this huge fucking 182-meter statue of Sardar Patel, then maybe, that'll be your favorite.
Well, in that case, Luke, I have a very weird story because, I mean, I won't, I'll spare the details, but when I was at university in Swansea, I took a day trip very early on in the year down to Cardiff. It's only 45 minutes on the train or whatever. I'd walk around, just kind of go in the shops. There's a big shopping centre and stuff like that. And there's a very nerdy thing that I will be laughed at a lot for the rest of my life, but fuck, it was worth it. I wanted to go to a particular spot from Doctor Who. Doctor, Captain Jack, and Martha Jones sort of lean on a railing near the harbour. And they have a little chat, and there's sort of at the end of an episode. I thought, screw it. I'm in Cardiff. I want to go there. It was a bit of a walk, like half-hour walk. I didn't use the bus or anything to the harbour. And I remember sort of like the way Google Maps took me was through this kind of weird housing thing, sort of that ran adjacent to this long road that ran to the harbour. And I came out through the just boring brick houses, and was greeted by this huge building, the Cardiff Millennium Centre, which is this big, leaning, golden sort of I don't know if it's like an arena or like some kind of concert hall or something. And it's this big bronze with like lots of Welsh writing on it. Yeah, it's got this stuff in Welsh written on it. It's incredible. It's terrifying. It's incredible. And it's sort of getting on in sort of twilight. It's sort of late in the day. It shines with all the lights.
It's had like an awesome experience.
Yeah, it was exactly that. I was like, wow, this is unbelievable. I had a big smile on my face, and I went and leaned on a railing. But it was a very nice moment. And is this a landmark? Well, to me, it doesn't matter. It's that kind of beauty is in the eye of the beholder thing. To me, this is a landmark.
I think it does.
And it's,
I think it does.
I have that connection. I think it do. And there's that connection between me and it. And I guess what makes a landmark, in another sense, is how many people have had that experience. How many people have stood at the foot of Christ the Redeemer and felt, at one, or, like a religious experience or something like that. I think that's what makes the big landmarks, is that kind of experience. And lots of people having that kind of experience.
Whilst you were talking, that was a great story, by the way.
Thank you.
Really appreciate that. That was very meaningful. I was looking at this list of very big statues. Hey Harry, could you do me a favor and Google Guan Yu statue?
Yeah, I've pulled it. Oh my god. What? Oh my god. This is a statue, Luke. Oh, we've got to explain this. Okay.
It's the coolest motherfucking thing I've ever seen.
Look, I can't even. How do you explain this? Quick.
It doesn't look real.
Yeah,
it looks fictional.
Okay, so it's like a statue of some kind of.
For reference, Guan Yu is a Chinese war god.
Yeah. Okay. Sort of imagine sort of traditional looking war god, lots of robes and sort of Eastern kind of dress and a big beard and some kind of like headwear, like a little crown or something. He's got a massive glaive. Holding it in his right hand, and he's in some kind of like what looks like some kind of stance, and there's like wind that's kind of blowing his robes back. How tall is this statue, Luke? Because like I'm struggling to get context.
It's 58 meters tall,
which is like that's over half a football pitch. There's this huge. Is it it looks like a sort of sandstony color?
Yeah, no, I can't tell what it's made of. It doesn't actually have a Wikipedia page.
That's the greatest injustice of our time.
Which is genuinely like
wow. Yeah, I mean there'll be pictures of all these in the show notes. I definitely recommend checking this one out. It looks like someone's sort of taken a picture of this man, coloured it sort of a sandy, dusty colour, and then just sized it up over a city.
It's huge.
It's bonkers.
Imagine going about your day.
Yeah,
Because, like, I'm looking at this. There's this one picture where there's a bunch of buildings in the background.
yeah,
And they look like apartment buildings.
yeah. Same.
Do people live there? And they, like, look out their window and, like, yep, there he is.
Good Lord.
Brand new,
It's like-
looking over me.
Yeah, they look out one window and there's Buddha. He's smiling. Oh, there he is. There's Buddha. They go to the other window and they see this war god stood over them.
He's 1,320 tons.
Jesus, I mean, yeah, that is an epic statue.
All right, let's go on. Let's have a look. What do you have
Twitter.
to say?
Twitter time. All right. I hope people have understood what a cultural landmark is. That was my main concern.
Everyone got it, as far as I can tell.
Okay, that's good. As far as you can tell. Just in case, the Statue of Liberty just grew one day.
But yeah, we're gonna go through the list.
All right.
Response numero uno from mutual friend of ours,
Yep.
Nikki.
Nicholas.
Thank you for writing in, Nikki. It's appreciated.
Thank you. What do you say, Luke? Don't keep me waiting.
We've been given the Angkor Wat in Cambodia.
Oh, okay. That's a civilization.
In civilization, yes.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I don't really know what it is.
I've never seen it. Well, not in real life, but I've never looked at it.
Yeah, I've never seen it outside the tiny little icon that Civ gives you.
Civ. It looks
awesome.
Wow.
This is a very cool looking building, yeah.
I've got no idea what I'm looking at most of the time.
So it's kind of sort of these three pillars that are kind of, I can't really tell, there's a weird texture to them.
There's a bunch of huge pine cones.
Yeah, it looks like, three pine cones. Yeah, because they kind of got this knobbliness to them.
Yeah.
It's all connected sort of by a big building, so like a temple-looking thing, maybe?
It is a temple, yes. It's a Hindu temple. Originally constructed as a Hindu temple.
Okay.
But I believe it is now Buddhist.
I see. Acts as a mausoleum. I think this has the qualities of a good cultural landmark, I think. I mean, it's probably B or C tier when it comes to recognizability or public knowing aboutness.
I think most people, if I asked, do you know what the Angkor Wat is, they would say the Angkor Wat.
I was like, I know what joke I'm going to make if when Luke finishes this sentence. I think you're probably right.
But
you know what I genuinely think? I'm imagining a 40-year-old dad. Excuse me, sir. What's? Do you know what the Angkor Wat is? And he'd be like, Angkor Wat? And then his kid might go oh, Dad.
Because his kids play a lot of Civilization.
Yeah, and the kid knows about Angkor Wat. I actually like this. Is a good answer.
It just looks real cool.
Looks cool, cultural significance.
It's got a lot. I like landmarks with water. This response comes in from Afroman, and it is the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Leaning Tower of Pisa. Okay.
Now, earlier on in this podcast, I said, I don't think anyone would pick one of the more popular landmarks as their favorite, but
oh, here we are.
Yeah,
okay. But is that A tier though? Is Leaning Tower A tier?
I think Leaning Tower of Pisa is A tier. I think if I asked a random person on the street,
they'd know
what the Leaning Tower of Pisa is.
Yeah, I guess in my mind I was sort of thinking Seven Wonders, they're the most top iconic.
I think if above 50% of people,
know what it is and stuff. Yeah, that's a good shout. Yeah, okay then. I think it's suitably famous. What do you think of the Leaning Tower?
Is it meant to be like that?
No, it actually isn't.
How'd they fuck it up so bad?
Let me pull up the Wikipedia page. It was
holy crap! It took almost 200 years to build.
Good Jesus, yeah. Well, okay, yeah, here we go. So it's because the soil collapsed, or sort of
when they started building it.
Yeah, due to soft ground. Yeah, when they started building it, and then they sort of left it for ages, and the sort of soil settled and sort of settled in place, and then they came back and finished it, and it's the Leaning Tower now, which is why otherwise it would have just fallen over.
Yeah, it did. So, 12th century when it started being built.
Yeah.
The ground was too soft. Yeah. And as they were building it, it slowly leaned more and more. And then they finished in the 14th century and left it.
Yeah.
And then kept tilting until 1990.
Oh, wow.
It just kept going.
Just kept going slowly. I see here, but to 5.5 degrees of tilt.
Yeah.
I guess on a tall tower, it's quite significant.
And then apparently there was some remedial work done to make sure the whole thing didn't fall over, I guess.
Oh my god. But can you imagine being there the day the Leaning Tower falls over?
God, it might happen.
One just out of the blue. Good lord, that would be incredible.
That's gonna be big news.
Because like you could get out the way, you know. There's obviously a lot of tourists.
I feel like no one would be wounded.
Yeah, it wouldn't be but like actually being there watching it, because it would. I imagine it would like and like tilt and then and just shatter.
The fucking Titanic.
Yeah, just across. Yeah, it's made of marble and stone, famously quite brittle. God. You know, it would just crumble like, as it hit the ground.
It's just gonna shatter. Yeah.
What a sight that would be.
It's probably not gonna happen, right? We've probably got like there's people who
you know what they're doing. Yeah, I mean if they're stabilizing it and stuff, they're probably keeping an eye on it.
The tower has 296 or 294 steps. Excuse me?
Oh. No one's counted. It was that classic thing of like 1, 2, 3. Oh shit! Did I count that one? Yeah, I can't remember. That happened twice. So now they're like 294, 296, something in that bracket.
It's so bizarre.
But
I do think it's it looks really cool.
Oh yeah, it's almost surreal.
Do you think the Leaning Tower of Pisa would be as famous as it is?
Yeah.
If it wasn't leaning?
Absolutely not. It would be kind of like it would be like those some of the statues we've talked about.
Big Ben's really famous.
Not Big Ben. Big Ben's very famous. Yeah, it'd be just kind of like it would go down a couple of tiers, I think. In people's, it's just like something like Hagia Sophia, Machu Picchu. You know, kind of the ones that like some people know about. It's, and there's the Tower of Pisa. I almost said the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Like, it would still be called that.
It would just be the Tower of Pisa.
Tower of Pisa, yeah, which is very strange.
Which is weird, because that is probably what they wanted it to be called.
The Tower of Pisa, yeah.
But they fucked it up. Do you think it all happened at once?
Oh, what? They just went...
Like, as they were building it, and... Oh, shit! Everyone who stood around... Someone's, like, on top of it. Oh!
There's a guy stood directly in the path it was falling, and he... Oh, crikey.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, I really like Leaning Tower.
I'm imagining a dude who was asleep inside the Tower of Pisa. And you know that thing where as you're falling asleep, you feel like you're falling from it, you sort of jump up. They were sleeping in the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and we feel it. Whoa!
It's almost got that sort of...
I'm alright.
It's almost got that sort of like creepy story kind of like vibe where it's like, and then they woke up and their knife was still in their hand. They thought it was all a dream. He like goes downstairs. He's like, man, I had this terrible dream that all of a sudden like I was flung out of my bed. Yeah. And then like the guy just points up and they could see the tower like slant.
You know what? I've changed my mind. Leaning Tower of Pisa rocks actually.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's a surreal kind of a really good one.
Now that I know that it isn't meant to be leaning, it's much funnier.
Give me another one.
Now this one I'm excited about.
Oh yeah,
because I had not heard of this. I'd never even seen it before, and when I first saw the picture, I thought it was from Star Wars.
Oh my god, I'm excited. I'm ready at the Google.
It's called Gardens by the Bay. It's in Singapore, and holy crap, it looks awesome.
Oh wow, this is stunning. Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what it is. It's just like...
I mean, it looks like...
these, like, weird towers, and they've got, like, bridges between them. It genuinely looks like a sci-fi... city.
Sci-fi kind of garden or city or something. Yeah, like it's a big from like a big sort of public kind of garden thing. It's sort of like Eden Project, that kind of thing. I'm seeing a big glass dome with like sort of things pointing up. But obviously, the main eye-catching part of this is it's sort of big. They kind of look like trees or plants that kind of go out into like a funnel at the top. They kind of like go up and then outwards, and they've got like bridges that connect them. And there's, I mean, one thing is just beautiful is all of the nature and the greenery that surrounds it. I'm seeing all these different trees and plants, and it's very rustic. There's water and lakes and gardens in there from what I'm seeing. And then inside the big dome itself, I mean, there's a particular picture I'm looking at that's got like waterfalls coming down, and this is genuinely stunning.
So cool.
Wow. Yeah, this is fascinating. Again, link for all these in the show notes.
No
Definitely
idea.
worth checking
I've
out.
never even heard of it. That's the thing. These crazy, wacky places exist all throughout the world, and you just never know until someone broadens your horizons. And
That's
you get
amazing.
to see this fucking cool-ass cyber
Yeah,
trees.
exactly. You know, look, and that's the thing. I like to think we've done that with the time pyramid today.
Time pyramid.
Yeah. But actually, I'm looking at a closer picture. I don't know if these big funnel-y things, are they actually plants? They look like
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't think they are. I think they have
Yeah.
plants growing on them, but I can't quite tell.
Yeah, I presume they have some kind of relation to the
they
nature.
look
But it is
awesome.
so cool, and they light up at night and everything.
Yeah.
And, yeah, great. Who sent this one in? Sorry?
This was sent in by Ellis. So
Ellis,
thank you,
excellent.
Ellis.
Excellent
This
suggestion.
is so good. I love this.
Wow. Okay. Well, it's about time, isn't
And
it?
now we have to talk about our favourites, which are not as cool.
Not as cool. Luke, I don't know if I'm ready. What are you?
I'm ready.
You
I know
feel-
what mine
okay.
is.
I've no idea what yours is.
I had to debate for a while, but I know what mine is.
It's probably a fucking archway, isn't it?
No,
It's probably another arch.
this is not.
No? Really? Oh, go on.
It
Luke,
is
what
a statue, I'll tell you that.
It's a statue. I have no idea.
Do you think you could guess what it is of?
No, not in a million
Okay.
years. No, go on, Luke.
Harry, my favourite landmark. Statue of Unicorn Gundam. Google it immediately.
Yeah, I'm on it. Statue of
It's
unicorn.
20 meters tall.
Oh, for
It's
fuck's sake.
fucking awesome. Look at him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it.
It's so cool.
Okay. Yeah. All right. This does look quite cool. Far from. I mean, we were talking about like
I know.
modern
It lights
wonders.
up at night, Harry.
We
It
need to
lights
explain
up
this.
green.
Just imagine a transformer or a gun. You know, a big robot, big
It's
Japanese
20
style
meters tall.
robot. Yeah, and it's got like these sort of yellow horn kind of things. It's white. The whole thing's white with sort of red highlights and stuff and pink highlights. 20. Yeah, as Luke said.
Awesome.
It's got actually the smallest Wikipedia page I've ever seen. The
It's
smallest Wikipedia
tiny,
page I've
yeah.
ever seen with a picture. Like, it's got a picture, and then it is 2 sentences. Full-scale Gundam statue from the series. Mobile suit Gundam unicorn is installed outside of Diver City
Are you
Tokyo
okay?
Plaza. I'm trying to read this. I don't know what that is.
Diver City, Tokyo.
Odaiba's Diver City, Tokyo Plaza in Tokyo, Japan. It replaced a previous statue of another Gundam, I think.
It's
Yeah.
they have lots of Gundams there.
Yeah.
The thing is, this was in close competition with Godzilla Square, which is also in Japan,
Oh man, if I knew this existed.
and has a cool as fuck statue of Godzilla, but it's only 3 meters tall.
Oh, okay, very very detailed statue.
It's
very
not
nice.
a very tall statue, and I don't respect that very much.
Okay.
But it is apparently the country's tallest Godzilla statue, which is so
I
disappointing.
guess so. Yeah. Is it in? You said it's in Tokyo.
Godzilla's like 50 meters tall.
Yeah. Until the fact they've only got 3 meters.
Like, it's a cool statue.
At least take it to 5 meters. So it's a 1/10
Tenth, yeah.
ratio. Yeah. Like, they're just like, no, I don't want to go too big. Maybe people think it's actually Godzilla if they take it too big. Oh, God, quick to the
Like,
War God statue.
The thing is, that's the thing. The Guan Yu statue,
Yeah.
it's like over 50 meters.
Yeah. They could have easily gone.
This Godzilla is 3.
They could have put they could have put Buddha, Guan Yu, and Godzilla in close proximity, and maybe they're all fighting.
I'm so upset because it would be such an easy competition for my favourite statue.
Yeah,
If it was just taller.
I see. It's a close one. Yeah,
But
it's
Statue of Unicorn Gundam fucking rocks. It's so cool.
yeah,
I want.
it is
to
very
see
cool. Has 2 horns.
It.
Bicorn.
No, I think you're. The thing is, there are some pictures of it where it only has 1 horn.
Oh yeah, nice.
So I think the one that has 2 horns isn't actually the Unicorn Gundam. I think that might be a different Gundam. Oh no, wait, no, the Unicorn Gundam does have 2 horns. I don't know.
Yeah,
I've never
Strange.
seen Gundam.
but I'm seeing seeing one.
I just
one horn.
like big mechs.
Man, I don't know, man.
You don't like the Gundam?
It is obviously very cool, very impressive. I think it is cool, but it doesn't feel like a cultural landmark. It's not in the same league. Okay, fine. Maybe it is definitionally a cultural landmark, but it doesn't feel within the same category.
I will let you
this
know
and Angkor Wat and this and the
Guan Yu definitely could have been in competition for my favorite. It was always going to be a statue, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And it was probably always going to be a statue of something that could beat the shit out of every other statue. I'm not picking my favorite cultural landmark. I'm picking which cultural landmark would win in a fight.
It's the fictional bears thing again. I imagine you got Brian Clough there, the Nottingham, the statue of Brian Clough, old man, old football coach.
I think there's a bunch of regular people versus a Gundam and Guan Yu.
True, yeah.
And Godzilla,
probably,
but the Godzilla's only 3 meters.
little baby Godzilla, yeah. Probably wouldn't end up going in their favour. Yeah, it just doesn't feel to me in the same... It doesn't give me the things I get from...
You don't think if you saw this in real life, you would experience total connection with the universe?
I'm imagining my Millennium Center story, but instead I come out from the houses and there's this.
Gundam. Are you trying to tell me that wouldn't be the most awesome moment of your entire life?
It would be very cool, but it'd be a different kind of experience. It would be just a different situation.
I just love big statues, okay?
Yeah, and I won't deny that. It is a very cool statue, absolutely. It just doesn't give me what I get from other... Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't feel the same sense of wonder that when we look at Gods of the Bay.
Be honest with me.
Yeah.
If it was a giant statue of Thanos...
Yeah. That becomes... Oh, man, can you imagine? And like the Infinity Stones individually, they're all like the size of like a person. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. That would... But I can appreciate that would be my subjective experience, but objectively, for everyone, it wouldn't be.
Well, Harry, unfortunately, we're not playing best. We're playing favourites.
Oh, you have no idea because you have no idea what the power is that is in that sentence. Because what you've just said there, my favourite, I've gone back and forth, even before the episode, during the episode, because I've got two, and one of them is that ticks all the boxes, but I don't feel the connection. I don't feel like this is my favourite. But I can look at it and ticks all the boxes.
But it might not be your favourite, Harry. It might be the best, but is it your favourite?
But it's not. Okay, well, sure. Okay. Well then, Luke. In that case,
I think
there's
I
not
might
much
know what your favourite
time left in the episode because my favourite wonder is probably the time pyramid.
Are you kidding me? It all comes full circle.
All comes full circle, like the time machine and the time pyramid.
Fuck.
We set ourselves up and we didn't even know.
You're a bastard. You did this.
I did, honestly. Like
you spent this whole episode locked in the time pyramid and you've exited. Yes. Harry's been playing in reverse.
Exactly, it's playing favorites in reverse. Well, the thing is, that was my honourable mention of the time pyramid at the beginning. Because the time pyramid, it has a purpose and a function that it goes through.
Now I feel bad for insulting it.
It's okay. But because it's got that kind of additional layer of it's, it has... Its name means something, kind of like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, in that its thing is that it's leaning. It's not just an impressive looking building; it has a quality about it of this. It is existing through time. It's been built through time, which is just. I mean, it's very. I love the concept of time, but it's such a cool story. I think it looks.
What do you think they're going to do with a time pyramid once they've built it?
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
just leave it.
There's an argument to be made. Probably, let's do another tier.
I mean, they could, right? That'd be really easy.
Yeah, I guess so. But if it's gonna be finished in 3,183, are people still gonna be in 3183?
People are probably pretty sick of it at that point.
Can you imagine? We've ruined the Earth, and we're like, all right, everyone, we're fleeing to Mars, and the great grandkid of the guy who made the time pyramid is like, no, we can't. We still gotta finish the time pyramid. As the spaceship pulls away out of the atmosphere, you can just see it on the ground. No,
it's got one block left.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's in 3173. Oh, devastating. But it's got to be time for me there. To wrap it all up, the my logical favourite, the one that ticks the boxes, funnily enough, is the Leaning Tower of Pisa. That's the one I've got notes for.
What is this?
I know, it's all tied together. That's the one I've got the notes for. The justification.
Fucking cyclical episode of playing favourites ever recorded.
I know, it's bizarre. That's why I knew all about the soil and it was built over time and they came back to it because I'd read all about it.
You've been doing all this research.
Yeah, again, it's got that thing. It's got this almost abstract quality about it. It isn't just an impression. I think on its own, even if it wasn't leaning, it's a pretty cool looking tower. It probably won't be anyone's favorite, but it's cool. But then it's got that abstract.
It's
thing
always
to
the
it.
story, isn't it?
Yeah. It's that sort of extra that
Well, except for
mythos.
the Gundam. That one's just very cool.
Yeah, is that from a particular anime or something?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Remember some Gundam unicorn.
Well, there you go. That's your mythos, Luke. That's your lore.
Yes, the entire show is the...
Yeah, they're right on a plaque in front of it.
Tell you what, that'd be much better than the Time Pyramid anime.
I guess so. New episode every 10 years.
Dude.
I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
That comes out every time they place a new block, a new episode comes out.
God, it would hurt even more, though, if it was a bit of a dud episode, a bit of a filler. Alright, see you in 10 years. Oh, no. But... yeah, so they're my two. Yeah, Time Pyramid wins, and then honourable mention to the Leaning Tower.
Time Pyramid wins.
I was thinking, how do you think that your Gundam statue could destroy the Time Pyramid, Luke?
I think we would be locked in constant battle.
Forever. You just see, like, the first punch would be thrown, and it would just freeze. Forever, and it's locked in time.
In time.
Wow.
I am kind of haunted by the Time Pyramid now. We've, talked about it in such a way that it's, I'm kind of scared of how brutalistic the finished version looks.
Yeah, man. Maybe it is full of ancient power or something.
It's really big as well.
Yeah.
And if you did stand in the middle when it's finished, you just couldn't see anything. You'd just be trapped in it.
Yeah, forever.
Overwhelmed by time.
The energy of the time waves.
Whoa! It's actually focusing a time beam.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah. And they'll place the final block and hey-ho! and
then the Gundam fires.
Yeah, exactly. It comes down. It's like the Bifrost, It's the Gundam, and lands a single punch in the center of the Time Pyramid, obliterating it after 1,000 years of its construction.
That's how the Time Pyramid is finished.
That's it. Yeah, that's the part.
The thing is, I actually do think there is a. What are these blocks made of? Actually, hold on. They're gonna degrade. Right?
I think it's just like a concrete blocks. It says here
because they can't replace them.
Yeah, it goes against the point. I don't know how long it takes concrete to grow. We could do some research into that. But
what if there's a big earthquake?
Oh, no, it falls over.
It all falls over like dominoes.
No. Yeah, they'll knock each other over. God, what a tragedy! What a terrible time that would be. What a weird episode of Playing Favorites.
This is the best episode of Playing
We've written a full sci-fi crossover.
Yeah, we've got our own universe.
Yeah, of all the wonders that come to life. That's incredible. Wow. Alright, I guess that's it. Okay. Well, yeah, thank you everyone for listening.
Wow.
What a great episode. It's another one in the bag. Episode 7, I believe that was.
7.
Cultural Landmarks.
We've
Yeah.
done a whole week.
I got a whole week's worth.
Right,
You could
we
listen to
recorded
one
all
day.
these in 7
Yeah,
days.
over 7 days. But yeah, if you guys want to get in contact, we're on Twitter @PlayFavorites. We put out questions asking people what their favourite things are and which you can respond to. We'll feature you on the show. Or you can tell us suggestions for topics we can discuss and what your favourite cultural landmarks are. We'd love to know. So you can tweet at us @PlayFavorites or email playingfavoritspodcast@gmail.com. Remember that Favourites has a U in it. Playing doesn't have a U in it. Favourites has a U in it. I nearly said that wrong. And that's it. Patrons to the GINGERFORK Patreon, they get 1 week early access to episodes. Very cool. And then everyone else gets them a week later, and we all have a good chat about our favourite cultural landmarks. Not every week, just this week. Next time it'll be something else.
Send us a picture of you stood next to your favourite cultural landmark.
Oh, that'd be good.
It doesn't even have to be real. It doesn't have to be a
Yeah,
real
if you want to
picture.
Photoshop it.
Photoshop it, I don't care.
That'd be good. We'd love to see them.
I just think that'd be really funny.
Yeah,
Especially
there you
if
go.
it's a Gundam.
Yes, oh my goodness. Maybe Photoshop more Gundams in as well, like some kind of war.
Photoshop your
Like,
favourite Gundam.
Yes, oh my, make your own Gundam and send it in. Excellent. All right, gang. Well, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye-bye.